Alright, y'all. We are back in the video, back in the reaction. We are here with some WNBA news. So, yesterday, or it might have been today, I don't know. I've been seeing on the WNBA pages on YouTube that Caitlin Clark asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team players via the Indiana Fever's president. So let's check this out real quick.
So Atlanta would normally have 3,000, 4,000 people. Now they have 17,000 people, and they sold 1,000 standing room only tickets. So when we walked into the arena, people were on that third balcony looking down at the tops of our players' heads to watch. It's really hard to take in. After a few away games and all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team players. She said,
Wow.
we're making all this new revenue, and I would like the away team to benefit from that. Could they get a spot bonus? So that's the heart of Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a classy, amazing person.
That's dope.
Atlanta would normally.
I mean, Caitlin Clark might be a crash out, but this is actually a nice gesture. Because I know that was one of the biggest things about the NBA was the pay gap. That they didn't want to get paid like NBA players, but they at least wanted a raise in their pay. And now that, the Clarkonomics or the Clarkies, they're spawning from everywhere. As she said, they went from 3,000, maybe 4,000 people to now 17,000 people in the arena and 1,000 standing room tickets. Caitlin Clark pretty much went out her way to reach out to the WNBA for away teams to have a bonus to play in these games. And I'm pretty sure the WNBA said no. And I feel like they said no for a lot of reasons. But I think the main reason why is because I feel like this would be more fuel to the fire for people to say this is another reason why Caitlin Clark runs the WNBA, because she brings all this money, all this eyes, all this viewership, and now she wants to give the other players more money. So now people are going to start saying, if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, you wouldn't have got a raise. So you know what I mean? So it's just going to add more fuel to the fire for more people to praise Caitlin Clark and, destroy the rest of the players in the league. And again, as we've been saying over and over, it's, people trolling. They're just bored, have nothing else better to do, as we already know. And again, the WNBA, certain players feel like it's Caitlin Clark fans that are saying that. And after thinking about it again, you got to really put two and two together. Because if the WNBA didn't have any motion, as we say nowadays, motion, or nobody really wanted to watch the WNBA, and then Caitlin Clark, I'm going to say Angel Reese too, because she's brought eyes to the game too. But we're just going to keep it Caitlin Clark for now. If Caitlin Clark brought all this attention to the WNBA when they didn't have it before, who do you think this league and the players are going to blame for that? If they didn't have all these eyes watching them before that they have now, who are they going to say is responsible for all these trolls and all these random people just coming out of nowhere? They're going to say it's Caitlin Clark fans saying it. So that's why they're saying it's Caitlin Clark. They don't like Caitlin Clark because of the fans. It's because of that. But I will say that this is a nice gesture, though. I'll give credit when it's due. This is a nice gesture from Caitlin Clark. And again, even though she is a crash out, an Italian crash out, this is a nice thing.
We have 3,000, 4,000 people.
But I also feel as if this might be adding more fuel to the fire for trolls to come out and say, if it was for Caitlin Clark, you wouldn't be getting paid all this money.
They have 17,000 people, and they sold 1,000 standing room only tickets. So when we walked into the arena, people were on that third balcony looking down at the tops of our players' heads to watch.
That's crazy.
it's really hard to take in. After a few away games and all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team players.
So how much would the spot bonus be, though? That's another question. How much
She
would that have
said
been?
that we're making all this new revenue, and I would
Because
like
if it's
to-
like a lot of money, they're not gonna say no. But if it's just like a little change, it's gonna be like absolutely not.
away team to benefit from that. Could they get a spot bonus?
Because that's the only question is how much is the spot bonus?
So that's the heart of Caitlin
Because
Clark.
look, if you get spot bonuses to be on the court with Caitlin Clark, a lot of players will be wanting to play with her right now.
I mean, that's
Trust
a
me.
classy,
If
amazing
you getting a spot bonus just to be on the court with her,
person.
you ain't gotta like her, but you just gotta be on the court with her just to get the spot bonus. But anyway, we also have another video from Mick Talk Hoops, because he's another one of these players that I've been reporting the WNBA pretty much all year. So let's go ahead and check this out and see what he has to say.
That it's like she's trying to get other players paid. She's trying to get other players paid. She's trying to grow the league. And if we can be just completely objective right here with everything, Caitlin Clark is literally everything that everyone has asked for from a face of the league. Like, she is everything that people have asked for. The problem is that she is where she is from.
It's Iowa.
What she looks like is not what the people in the league were hoping for. And we can be completely honest on that. Because if you want to take the actions of Caitlin Clark, let's just put them all as like a squeaky clean reputation as far as like off the court. On the court, like, look, as far as some of the trash talk stuff, I don't understand again why some trash talk against her is seen as a bad thing because she's as bad as anyone for that. I do think.
Yeah, chat. Y'all gotta understand, Caitlin Clark has had some crash out moments even in college. So I'm just saying, I know a lot of people kind of squeak past it, but
It's horrible calls.
it's there.
As far as some of the trash talk
Just
stuff,
YouTube it.
I don't understand again why some trash talk against her is seen as a bad thing because she's as bad as anyone for that. I do think
Well, I'll pull up some receipts.
she gets
I'll just let him talk real quick though.
calls from the refs, but players do go out harder against her. I don't think they necessarily target her, but I do think that they will play harder. And a lot of time when you go harder and try to be physical with somebody, there are times, especially, it can cross a line. I don't think they're going out, other than like Kennedy Carter, who just gave her a cheap shot. I don't think players are going out to hurt her. I think they are going out to be physical with her, and sometimes it does cross that line into that happening.
Yeah, I feel like being physical with a player is not really bullying either. Like, that happens in all sports. Like, being physical, like, I'm sure they're gonna be physical with Bronny James too. Even with LeBron on the court, they're gonna be physical with Bronny James. Don't start saying that's bullying either. Know what
But
I
at the same
mean?
time, we have seen Caitlin Clark get Jordan Canada in the head as well. So it's
Yeah, so yeah, she's had some moments where she didn't hit people. Matter of fact, let's just pull up clips now. You might as well just do it. Here's another play of, Caitlin Clark being frustrated at somebody.
Down to the challenge on the offensive.
Right here. Just pay attention to this side of the screen.
Not back down
Up
to the
here.
challenge on the offensive end of scoring against a much bigger defender.
Yeah.
Martin.
But a lot of people would excuse it though. They don't notice it.
Back down to the challenge on the offensive end of scoring against a much bigger
They let it slide.
defender.
Martin got blocked, and we have a foul.
I think we're gonna have a conversation as two whistles were blown.
Yeah, Clark. I think that. Oh, maybe if Clark take an.
See if they have a closer up angle of it.
Amar, do you know if the initial call was underneath on the shot, or do you think it was beyond the arc where they were
Caitlin Clark
going
has
at
been
it?
physical with other players. Okay, here's another angle right
They're
here.
going to be physical, try to get different players, different Iowa players out of rhythm, out of sync. And it's obviously the ref.
Are seeing what the officials are seeing. Either way, it's a foul on Purdue Fort Wayne at a minimum. The question is whether it's a shooting foul underneath or something against.
Just straight pushed her. Now, if this was in the WNBA right now, this is bullying, right? I'm just saying, like, you gotta. It's double standards. Like, you gotta put two and two together. Anyway, let me get back.
It's not like she's completely innocent in that either. But as far as when it comes to on the court, she makes basketball plays. Her game is interesting. It's fun to watch. We have not seen a lower the rims talk in a year. And I mean that.
Because that's something I've been wanting to bring up too. I just keep forgetting it. That was the time when Candace Parker, I think it was either Candace Parker or Plum. They were talking to, I think it was Candace Parker was talking to Shaq about how the WNBA could make more money. And Shaq said lower the rims. And Candace Parker said somebody said that was disrespectful to say that. I remember
Ever
that, what he's
since
talking
people
about.
like general basketball fans, because it's always been everyone said, "Oh, the skill's there," but like the dunk isn't, the highlight plays isn't. Well, you know what? There's like two types of highlight plays. There's the dunk, and there's the three. Steph Curry doesn't have the dunk, but he's the most fun player in the world to watch because he has the three. And yeah, there are players that can shoot like Sabrina. There aren't players that can shoot like Caitlin Clark, other than maybe Arike. But I think Arike is such an
Nah, Enrique, she's just a shot maker.
inefficient shooter that
She's a shot maker.
it's hard to like put her in that like category.
She's not really just like a shooter. She just, like, whenever the ball is up in the air, released by her, she's going to make it.
But that's on the court. On the court, she's everything you need. Off the court, she answers perfectly every single question, whether that be
That's Iowa's media training.
people are reading like, oh, that's like a PR answer. Like she's not Anthony Edwards. She's not making fun of past players. People are saying, oh,
Oh my gosh. Nah, I gotta make a video on that too. Cause that, honestly, Anthony Edwards, that rubbed me the wrong way. It did. Because that just made me feel like, what does he mean by that? When there's so many legends from the 90s and 80s that would destroy today's era of basketball because nobody wants to play defense now. So there's just so many players like Penny, Magic, there's so many players that would literally destroy this era. I gotta make a video on that too. Another time.
everybody needs to learn about all the great players of the past. She goes out of her way to talk positively about her teammates, her opponents, legends,
That's true.
people that are around her. Like we've never
Her favorite player is Maya Moore.
heard the closest thing we have heard Caitlin Clark say as a negative thing was saying the Kennedy Carter cheap shot was not a basketball play, and then afterwards basically went and praised Kennedy Carter, said she's the favorite right now for 6 Woman of the Year when she was coming off the bench at the time, and that she's had a brilliant season. Like the closest thing we've seen her say something negative is saying that she didn't make a basketball play and then continuing to compliment the person. Like, as far as answers are concerned, all she has done is publicly, anyway, try to uplift her teammates, uplift.
The
her
only thing
opponents.
about the Kennedy Carter situation was there was a point in time where Caitlin Clark either said something to her own bench or to Kennedy Carter. Here, I'll show you guys a clip of what I'm talking about. See, this is what I was talking about right here.
And Caitlin's elbow appears to make contact with Kennedy while doing so as she elbow appears to make
I don't think I ever seen that, even when it first happened.
contact with Kennedy while
It looked like she went like this.
doing so. And Caitlin's elbow appears to make contact with Kennedy
It looked like this, and then it went to this.
while doing so as she turns around and celebrates in Kennedy's face.
See what I mean? So it could either be talking here or talking straight to Kennedy, but even in fast motion when it happened,
Kennedy
it looked like she was talking to Kennedy
while
Carter.
doing so as she turns around and celebrates in Kennedy's face and maybe even had a few words to say, which then moments later Kennedy comes down and scores and then retaliates against
And then that play. And then if you want to add fuel to the fire.
Little push right there.
But anyway, let's keep going.
Uplift the league, uplift the people that made the league where it was, which she has done. In fact,
Welcome to Sapphire Lounge by the club.
not more, but in a over the 5 month spell, more than any of the players. People want Aja to be like the face of the league. Aja doesn't really do any of that. Like Aja Wilson's friends with a guy who was like lost his job as a teacher for assaulting a child, and is there on Twitter saying that people should file a police report against Caitlin Clark. And now you're after hearing, obviously,
Wait.
for
What?
assaulting a child.
Wait, go
Like
back.
Aja Wilson's friends with a guy who was like lost his job as a teacher for assaulting a child,
Yeah, I never heard that a day in my life.
and
Alright.
is there on Twitter saying that people should file a police report against Caitlin Clark. And now you're after hearing, obviously, she's out there trying to get players paid extra, but their CBA won't allow it. The people that screw over the WNBA the most are the WNBA, are the people in the Players Association, because they screwed themselves with that CBA. Like the fact that the Liberty Joe Tsai nearly was forced to sell his team because he had a private jet, and he said to his team, "You can, if you, I don't want you guys flying commercial. You can fly in my jet," because he owned a jet. Basically, he owned a jet, and he wanted to allow his team to fly in his jet. He nearly had a sales team because that was like a perk that other teams don't have. The league is being run by the cheap owners. Every decision is being made by the cheap owners, and that's why you're seeing the Sky, that's why you see people wanting to go to Mercury, wanting to go to the Aces, wanting to go to the Liberty, wanting to go to the Storm, and it's why the Sparks, the Sky, and the Connecticut Sun will struggle to get free agents as good as the Sun have been. It's not like they're attracting free agents. They like lost John Well. There are 6 or 7 organizations around really well and 6 or 7 that are around really badly. But Caitlin Clark was basically trying to push for away players, not saying trying to get her bonuses, trying to get her team bonuses because they were selling out crowds. Being like, well, away teams are having to move arenas for games, and they are they're filling everything, and they're filling the arenas. Why aren't they making extra money? It's like when we come to town, we generate, I don't know, let's just say $50 a seat on average. They get 12,000 extra people. Also, that's like nearly $750,000. There's nearly $750,000 extra just from gate revenue that these teams are generating. And that's like, it's literally from gate revenue of one Fever game, extra on top of normal revenue with the new stadium. They are literally generating half the year's salary, for allows cheap owners to penny pinch. That's realistically what the CBA is, because there are teams that are making profits, and even teams that are making losses. These are billionaire owners. They don't give a damn about the losses. This is a hobby for them. Like Premier League football, all the teams in the Premier League lose money, and it's one of the big. I do think that this is proven with the Caitlin Clark situation. That's like she very clearly is trying to promote the league. She's trying to promote other players, and every single thing people have asked for the league or for the face of the league, or they've asked Caitlin Clark to do, she's done. Every single thing people accuse Caitlin Clark of not being, she's done. And it's like Paige Beckers.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not. See, this is what I've been saying too for the last few days. It's not Caitlin Clark. It's never really been Caitlin Clark. It's the trolls and these random people that is making people not like Caitlin Clark. It's not her specifically, it's these fans and these trolls that's messing it up. Cause I don't get that vibe from Caitlin Clark that she's like crazy or anything. Well, she is a crash out, but not like crazy. You know what I mean? It's really just the fans that are messing it up. And like I said earlier, as an example, if the league never had all of the eyes that they have now, who are they going to blame for it if the media keeps pushing this specific person for bringing all the eyes, the attention, the revenue, the private jets, and the better gourmet chefs for lunchtime at practice or whatever? They're going to say it's Caitlin Clark and her fans, because those are the people that are just randomly spawning to the WNBA to watch these games until the game comes on. But you get what I'm saying.
She had
like
the SB speech 3 years ago, but it's like every single thing people are like, Paige does X, Y, and Z, Caitlin Clark, like to promote the game, to promote all these other things. Like the idea of Paige, the idea that people want Paige to be, is what Caitlin Clark is.
Well, Paige is supposed to be in the league right now. Paige Beckers is supposed to be in the WNBA right now, but the injury set her back.
These people still hate Caitlin Clark. So it's not about her actions. It's not about her on-court play. They just hate Caitlin Clark because she's Caitlin Clark. It is what it is.
Hey, man, you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this. I don't know if there's any other news. Okay, yeah, we're not putting Lisa Collier or Rudy Gobert. Definitely not. I understand this is a Minnesota thing. Nafisa Collier is a defensive player of the year averaging 40, and Rudy Gobert is getting dunked on in the Olympics. And tap dancing guarding Luka, so we're not doing that. Respectfully, we're not doing that. Anyway, there's this. We'll watch this real quick.
Written in our CV. So I'm just going to take this as like a learning opportunity.
This is Gabby Williams, who played for France during the Olympics, with some, I guess, some educational news. Let's get into it. Let's see.
For everybody here.
Whoa.
In the video, I'm talking about WNBA salaries and our collective bargaining agreement. I'm not talking about personal endorsements. I'm not going to disclose what I make from personal endorsements. I'm talking about
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure players like Abby or even Caitlin Clark, they make most of their money from endorsements and not the WNBA. That's kind of like a side check at this point. Caitlin has a $28 million Nike deal.
What WNBA salaries
This
are.
is just a side paycheck.
Honestly, written in our CBA, which all
this
of
is just a lifelong dream for them too, though.
you can Google, and it's all public information.
Anyway, my fault.
WNBA salaries and our collective bargaining agreement. I'm not talking about personal endorsements. I'm not going to disclose what I make from personal endorsements. I'm talking about specifically what WNBA salaries are and what is written in our CBA, which all of you can Google, and it's all public information. Two, for everyone saying, well, stop complaining and leave the country if you're unhappy in America. I did. And I have been for the last 3 years. That's the point. That's the question I was asked. Specifically, like after the Olympics, everyone was like, well, why isn't Gabby Williams in the WNBA? This is why.
That's true. Angel Reese tried to recruit her. Angel Reese tried to recruit her to Chicago Sky.
Because I make way more overseas. Anyways. And then to the point of this comment, Clark does. Clark makes $70,000 in the WNBA. So I know all these, Caitlin Clark fans, whatever, like Caitlin Clark makes $700,000. That's off of endorsements. I'm not talking about endorsements. I'm talking about the WNBA. And no, there is not one player in the entire WNBA that makes the money that the commissioner likes to brag about. And that was the point of that clip as well. Part 4, why do I keep coming back to the WNBA then? I come back when the timing's right. Like, if it works out. Because I have other things that I prioritize that me personally I choose to prioritize, and that's my choice. As I said in the video, players have the right to choose what they want to do. I've chosen to play for my national team and to make more money overseas. I come back to Seattle because they treat me well. I'm willing to play for less money because the staff and my teammates are always so great to me, and I enjoy playing there. And I enjoy playing in the WNBA. It just happens that it doesn't always work out. I also want to give a shout out to Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier for starting a league in the U.S. for players to make a very good salary outside of the WNBA in the off season, because going overseas isn't for everyone. I go overseas, I'm half European.
Well, that was Gabby Williams' response to the Caitlin Clark makes a lot of money. The Harry Potter classes are Harry Pottering. But anyway, let's keep it moving. If there's not anything else, then we're gonna end this video off. Yeah, that's yeah, she didn't win DPOY. It's an individual sport. An individual award. It's not based on your team record. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much it on that situation with Caitlin Clark and the Fever president saying that Caitlin Clark asked for bonuses for teams. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you subscribe together. Appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this. Do you feel like this was a nice gesture from Caitlin Clark to reach out to the WNBA for spot bonuses for away teams, or do you feel like she shouldn't be doing this and just play basketball? Pretty much. Anyways, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, man.